Hey guys, what's up? I'm Robin. I'm an artist. I make drawings, and this is me reading stuff. You are my friends. You are hanging in there. How are you guys for real? Haven't asked that in a while. You want me to rapid fire some questions over to you? You guys like that. You guys always respond to a few of these when I do it, so let's do it. Let's see. What's been the best part of this week for you so far? You know what? Let's up the ante. What's your favorite part of being alive? I want to hear it. Believe it or not, coming from this overly verbose, annoying person, my favorite part about being alive is easily just enjoying calm silences. Believe it or not. Did I already say believe it or not? Probably. Okay, back to you. Who did you love in the year 2006? Tell me all about that person. What can you do today to make you feel better? I ask myself that every day because I need to think of how to feel better at all times. So I'm talking a small thing like watching an episode of Forensic Files or something like that. Take a walk. Call your favorite aunt. Whatever it is, give yourself a half an hour to do something little and nice for yourself. I dare you. And last question, am I ever going to shut up? Yes, I will, but not before I read you Steve Edwards. Hey, hold on about Steve Edwards. You guys, I'm sorry about this noise. I just realized I set up my studio or my recording situation right next to my dishwasher, right after I put the dishes on. Put them on? What do you do? Oh my God, it's turned the dishwasher on. Okay, so right after I turned the dishwasher on, which I normally do at night, but I was remiss and I forgot to do it last night. So I did it, which was really idiotic. Although it's a nice noise. In fact, I noticed I have an app for white noise and it has several different things. And one of them, I like the fan, I like waves, I like regular white noise. Specifically, I like brown noise, I've found out. But this is one of the options. So is a washing machine or a dryer. So let's just try to accept it. You know, I'm learning more in meditation. Just accept what comes. Whatever annoying noises are around you, they're meant to be there. Accept them. Okay, Steve Edwards. Back to Steve Edwards, a writer living in Massachusetts currently. You can find him where I first found him, on Twitter. He is at the big quiet, and there are underscores in between those words. So at the underscore big underscore quiet. Steve Edwards, you know, and I don't even know, he's one of the first people I ever followed on Twitter years ago when just researching contemporary writers that I liked. And I really, really love the content of his Twitter. I love everything he posts that he publishes. I am a huge fan, and he is also the nicest person. What I'm going to be reading you today is not actually from an article that he just had published on LitHub, but, well, here, let me tell you the story. Okay, he just recently had an article published on lithub.com. I will put a link to all of this in the description of this podcast. This article was called Fatherhood, Ruining the Writing Career, Saving the Writing. And then the subtitle is Steve Edwards on the Daily Astonishments of Raising a Child. Okay, so I hadn't read that article yet. It had come out not long before he tweeted something, which I can't remember exactly what the tweet said. It has since been deleted, but I did get approval from Steve to read this. He posted, he goes, here's the real story behind that article. And it's just a kind of, these are notations, a list of some things about his son. Well, I'm going to read it so you're going to know what it is. But the article then I read, and it's really beautiful. And, you know, there were just a lot of moments that made me smile, made me glad that parents like Steve and his wife exist in this world, that kids like his kid exist and are around noticing what we fail to. And I guess I was just really appreciative that writers like Steve can bring childless people like me into these poignant moments through their, or his, as it were, gifts of language. Again, I've said it a million times. I don't want to be a parent. I do this by choice, this childless thing, very, very happily. Like, it's just not something I've ever wanted. But I love kids, and kids are drawn to me, and I've always been, I was a babysitter as soon as I could be one, and I have, many nieces and nephews that I'm obsessed with. So it's not that I hate kids. It's just that it's not meant to be for me. Like, it's just not what I want to spend my time and energy on day to day. So it's really interesting. I've seen a lot of people post articles about what it's like to be a creative person trying to make it in art, film, writing, whatever it may be, and also raise a kid. And I mean, all I know is it makes me nervous to even imagine how hard it is. So anyway, this article is great, but what Steve put on Twitter is just, it's just so sweet and so beautiful and so kind of mind-blowing. So let me get to it. And I want to thank Steve. Thank you, Steve, for letting me read this on here. Okay, so here's what he posted. On the 15-minute drive to the ice cream stand tonight, my son forgot the book he's been binge reading. We said, it's okay, you can talk to us instead. Here are some of the things, some, not all, that we found out. 1, when he's 17, he's going to open a restaurant. It's going to be a Mexican restaurant located in Taiwan and called Sam's Barbecue Kitchen. The restaurant won't be open on Saturdays and Sundays because he'll be having food meetings. And on Mondays, he'll go to visit Rebecca at her work at the Peabody Essex Museum, where he'll also be working as a curator. 2, when he grows up, he's going to have 2 kids, boys, named Christian and Massachusetts. No, not Massachusetts, Bordeaux. Will he have a wife? Yes, Rebecca will be his wife. I suggest they name the dog Freud. 3, change of plans. Instead of Taiwan, his restaurant is going to be in Canarsie, Brooklyn, and his business partner is going to be a robot named Stephen Dobson. 4, also his birthday isn't going to be October 4th anymore. It's going to be on May 4th, and he's not going to be 7 this year. He's going to be 30. 5, Dad, when did your grandfather die? 6, Dad, when did your grandmother die? 7, Dad, I'm just going to call Uncle Mike, Mike. 8, I really wanted to meet your grandmother and grandfather, but they just died. 9, I'm going to live close to you guys all my life because you're my family, and I'll fly to work every day in a plane to Canarsie, Brooklyn. Before I forget, I want you guys, I'll put the link to University of Nebraska Press's website, and you can read an excerpt of Steve's I've never read anything quite like it. I love it. His book, Breaking into the Backcountry, I think it was published in 2010. So check that out when you can, which should be right now. Did you guys know that when Walt Disney died, right before he died in 1966, I read this in an article about last words of famous people. He wrote the name, Kurt Russell, on a piece of paper right before he died. Isn't that amazing? I mean, I know Kurt Russell was in Disney movies around this time, but that's still really insane. And nobody knows why he did that. So I'm going to end there. I don't know why. It just jumped into my head. You guys, come fuck with me on Instagram or Twitter. It's ROBYN_ONEIL. I will be putting content out there this week, I've decided. I'm re-emerging. I'm working towards a lot of shows, so I just like to keep my energies in my hand, through the pencil, and onto the paper. And by the way, heads up to anybody, some people have been asking, David, shout out David from Hawaii, my email intern, have been asking where are these shows that I talk about coming up. I have one in Los Angeles here in October. I have one in Dallas in November. I have one, I'll be a part of the fairs in Miami in December, and then New York City in February. So I will expect all of Me Reading Stuff listeners to be at all of these shows. Just follow me around the world, please. I'm just kidding. I know nobody will show up, but that's okay. I love you guys so much. I want you to have a good rest of your week and weekend. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for subscribing and enjoying this podcast, or not enjoying. Thank you for not enjoying it, too. There are times I don't enjoy it, I'll be honest with you. I definitely don't enjoy myself. I've been really annoying myself lately. Okay, I thought I was leaving. I can never say goodbye. I can never say goodbye to you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.